Hello everyone, and welcome back to A. Marie Cards. Here we are for the first full week of May. Can you believe it's already May? Oh my goodness. So yeah, we are doing May 4th. For all of you Star Wars folks, May the 4th be with you. So we're doing May 4th all the way through May 10th. And of course it's May, so that means new deck. So I decided to go ahead and do the Rider Tarot. This is also called the Rider-Waite Tarot. I can't talk today. Rider-Waite Tarot. And some even call it the Smith Rider-Waite Tarot because of this woman right here, Pamela Colman Smith. A lot of people do not know about her, but she is actually the illustrator of all of these illustrations for this original deck. Most people, when they hear and talk about the tarot deck, these are the illustrations that they think about, and we have her to thank. And unfortunately, she did not really get her flowers in life. She was not given her fair due. So I wanted to take this moment to kind of honor her as the woman who was the illustrator of this deck that is extremely well loved and respected and cherished around the world by many readers like myself. So Pamela, dedicating this this reading basically to you. So let's get right into it. Let's see what is on deck for the collective for the week, first full week of May, for May 4th through the 10th. I cannot believe we're already in May. Summer is coming right around the corner. It's coming very quickly. Next month I'll be switching out the altar colors and designs. Right now we still got some of the spring, the eggs and the flowers and things, and in June we'll be actually, you know, switching that up and going to more summer flowers. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. I change the deck every season. So yes, this is gonna be our deck for the month of May. This is again the traditional tarot deck that most people think about. I wanted to, oh, here we go. Four of Swords is first. Right away, rest and relaxation and peace and slowing down a bit. Heaven knows I probably need to slow down a bit. Last week was kind of crazy for me, so this is going to be a much calmer week. So already I'm identifying with that one. But yeah, immediately the feeling of needing to slow down, take a little bit of a break. Maybe I'm getting the feeling also kind of like taking inventory, almost like taking stock of what's been happening the last few weeks. They're telling me a few weeks and few months. So this could be a good time to kind of pause and take a look at how far you've come and what is going on. So maybe I'm getting the feeling maybe, well, that one fell all the way out. Page of Swords. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a feeling that we're gearing up for something else. Almost like there is another chapter about, it's almost like when you get to the end of a video game board and, you know, I'm thinking Super Mario Brothers was the first one that popped in my head. I'm dating myself, but it did. Ooh. And then we have the Empress. Yeah, this is the vibe I'm getting. Okay, so what I was saying before. I'm getting a feeling of the end of, say, like a Super Mario Brothers board, and I'm dating myself because that was back in like 89, I think. But you get to the end of the board, you slide down the pole, and it goes, you know, the music and everything plays, and you have that little break before you go into the next level. I feel like this is going to be kind of a break week for you. This is a week to really sit down and get things kind of sorted out. I'm getting the feeling that you're either going to get not necessarily a message, but someone's going to kind of help you out with that. Like there's going to be someone that comes in and kind of helps you, either giving you some little bit of information or just some kind of little bit of help. It's not like a huge, like they're not going to be doing the whole, like, you know, process with you where you're evaluating everything and they're going to be doing most of it. I don't get that feeling at all. But it's someone that kind of either is coming in and giving you a little push or keeping you focused on it I'm getting that too, because the swords has to do with a lot of our thinking, intelligence, cranial, cognitive kind of things. So someone's going to get you either like thinking about, okay, what's my next chapter going to be like? What is it going to look like? Someone's going to kind of edge you along, so to speak. Someone's going to kind of like kind of point you in the right direction, or just kind of bounce an idea into your head about where to possibly go next. But they're also saying, this is not something to think too, you don't have to be, the word I'm getting is antsy. Like, don't be antsy about this. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I got to figure this out this week. No, because that's why the Four of Swords is here. It's kind of here to remind you, hey, look, you don't need to sit there and have your whole, the whole rest of the year planned out. We're not asking you to do that. We're just asking you to pause for a moment before you go to the next game level. Pause for a moment, reflect, perhaps have either like an outside source or someone else kind of give you a little bit of encouragement or boost to kind of do this assessment, this this midterm, so to speak. Because we're now we're in the right smack dab in the middle of the March, April. We're right smack dab in the middle of the second quarter of the year. We're coming up on, like, June will be the end of the second quarter. So next month will be exactly halfway through the year. If you're going by the Gregorian calendar, the traditional calendar. So this is a really good time to really step back and assess where you're going, because there is something else that this is the next level. The Empress represents kind of like this next step. If you don't know, like I said, kind of when I went over this card a while ago, the Empress is usually presented as pregnant, meaning either like literal birth. It doesn't always mean that. Matter of fact, most of the time it usually means birth of an idea, a concept, a thought, some kind of strategy, something new being birthed. So there's clearly something that wants to be birthed, that wants to come out this next level. I keep getting this feeling of like leveling up. So in order to do that, though, you have to assess where you've come so far. You have to kind of get a lay of the land. I'm literally seeing a vision of somebody like kind of going up on a cliff and looking back. Okay, that's everywhere I've come so far, and this is where I'm going next, and how am I going to continue the next part of this journey? That is your big focus for this week. And don't get bent out of shape about it. Don't feel like you have to have all the answers right now. It's okay if you don't. This is just an assessment time and just sitting back and saying, how far have I come? Where am I at right now? Where do I want to go? You're starting to do I'm also now getting like a simmer pot, like a pot simmering. This is your simmer stage. You're not boiling yet. It's not done yet. You're simmering. You're sitting and you're just kind of calmly looking over everything and saying, okay, what do I want to do next? What do I want this to look like? What do I want this Empress energy to be like? What do I want to radiate here once I'm done assessing everything that's been happening? So this is basically a week to take stock. This is going to be a very calm week compared to a lot of the previous weeks. This one's going to be pretty calm. So some of you, that's probably very welcomed that you're going to get kind of a calm week. But again, rest, relax, take stock of where you are. Start the beginnings of a game plan. Maybe a couple of, jotted notes. A whiteboard version of a game plan, like when you sit there and have a brainstorm and just put Post-its everywhere and things. That's what you're doing this week. You are just brainstorming and starting to think about what you want this to look like. What do you want this ultimate version of you for this year, for this season, for this time of your life to look like? You don't have to execute anything yet. There is nothing here that's telling me you need to execute right now. But it does tell me that you need to start thinking about it, brainstorming it, writing some things down, researching some things. But again, with the Four of Swords, this isn't, don't get bent out of shape about it. Don't get too stressed. Don't stress about it. This is chill. This is a chill, chill little reassessment, looking back like, okay, let's see how things went. How did the this whole first chunk of the year go, okay? If it went good, all right, what can I do to build momentum and bring this to fruition? If it didn't go so good, what are the things I need to take out of it? You know, what are the things I need to pull back on in order to be able to reach this point? What things do I need to add in? That's all you're doing this week. Don't feel the need to make any major boss moves necessarily this week. Just you're brainstorming this week. A lot of brainstorming. And, you know, pay attention to people who kind of just flutter in and flutter out and maybe have a couple of an idea thrown here, a thought thrown here. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be anything major. It just could be somebody or somebody's coming in, just kind of lobbing a couple little easy shots over the net. Like, hey, you could try this, you know. And again, you don't have to take anything necessarily to heart. You just take that. You know, they lobby it over, you take it, like, okay, I'm going to put it in my little brainstorm bag, and, you know, we'll ponder. We'll have plenty of time. We still have quite a bit of time, okay? We still have plenty of time to map this out and get a solid game plan to execute and all that. This week is just relaxing, chilling, coming down off for the last couple of weeks because it's been kind of intense. So calming down, relaxing, zenning out a little, and starting to just brainstorm. That's all you're doing. You're assessing to see how far you've come, and you're brainstorming. That's it. Okay, don't try to make it bigger than it needs to be. Some of you guys, I get the feeling some of you are going to want to sit there and do a whole, okay, I'm going to go to Chat GPT and think up a whole 6-point plan and a schedule from now until. We're not doing that this week. You lovely type A overachievers, I know you're out there. You're not doing that this week. Okay? Because I can almost guarantee you whatever you think up is going, they're like, anything you think up next week, it's just going to be thrown in the trash. It's like, don't make any kind of hardcore decisions on a game plan this week. You are just lobbing ideas in the air. You're throwing darts at the board, seeing what sticks, seeing what may not stick. You have plenty of time to start making up a master plan and you know, how to execute and everything. Right now, you're just letting your mind kind of gather recon and ideas, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Do not turn this into this doesn't need to be a big complex strategy like, oh my gosh, I gotta sit down and think of, for May I gotta do this. No. And for June I gotta do this. In July I have to do, and then by December I need to have, nope, this is not the time for that. This is just kind of just lobbing ideas. Write them down, put them on a whiteboard, save it until it's time to really kind of like, you know, okay, let's buckle down on these ideas and then run with it. This is not the week to do that. You're kind of more like an imaginary kind of visionary kind of mode right now. Looking hardcore at where you've been, but softballing ideas for where you want to go. That's how you should approach this week, okay? I don't want to see any of you making hardcore outlines. Don't do that. I keep reiterating that because I know some of you are going to try to do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? This is an easy week. Don't make it a difficult week. Okay? Okay. Deal? Deal. All right. That's it for this week's reading. Love you guys lots. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe if you're so inclined. If you want to hop over and join me over on Instagram, I'm at AMarieCards. Join me over there. Love to see you. And I'd love to see you here on the YouTube channel. So, yeah, have a great first week of May. And I will see you here next week. All right, be blessed. Bye.